Hey friends, thanks for watching another video. Today we're going to be working on this Game Boy Advance SP. I got this from my friend Chloe. I believe it was her childhood console that she got from her brother. And she gave it to me because she no longer had a use for it and she knows that I like Game Boys. So today what we're going to do is we're going to tear it apart and give it a good old clean. As you can see, it all works really well. The shell is a little bit scratched up, but other than that, it's not too bad. You don't always need to do a reshell on consoles. Occasionally I like to just open them up and clean them, making sure they're all tidy inside. It looks alright on the surface, but guarantee you below it will be quite grimy, being a really old console. So first thing we're going to do is grab out our tools, and for these ones we'll need a tri-wing bit and a Phillips head bit, maybe a flathead bit as well to help pry some things open, very carefully of course. So first thing we're going to do is take off the tri-wing screw right at the top, and then every single one at the corners as well. The battery cover is a Phillips head bit, so we'll remove that, and then we can remove the last tri-wing screw which is hidden underneath the battery. Now these batteries, because they are quite old, have a tendency to swell up. As you can see though, this one's not too bad at all. Original battery, not swollen, still holding a charge, which is awesome. Once all the screws are out, we can take off the back cover and expose the board. So as you can see, all in the corners there, it's quite grimy. Quite a lot of dirt has gotten in over the years. But again, by far not the worst Game Boy I've seen at all. So we're going to start with the back half first. We're going to remove the two Phillips head bits on the cartridge shield. That way that can come on out and we can take off the power button and just removing everything else that's on the back here. So we're going to remove the little screw for the battery cover, making sure we don't lose that. And then we're going to remove the shoulder buttons as well. These have little springs. It's about 3 pieces, I believe. The button, the spring, and the post that holds it all together. Don't launch that across the room. I've done that before. Not very fun. So once we do that, we can pull it all apart and set all these parts aside to be washed later on. So back on the main board now, we can remove the board. It's just 3 Phillips head bits. Nope, it's just 3 Phillips head screws, and then the board can then be lifted up. Now the trickiest bit by far when working on the Game Boy Advance SP is removing the ribbon cable and reattaching it later, as you will see. Just 2 pins, and then we can pull the ribbon cable straight on out, and then the board is free. Because it's quite old, the console has a tendency for the membranes to stick. It's fine. Peel it off. Happy days. Good to go. Now we can remove all the buttons and the speaker from the shell as well. If you want to be careful doing that, by all means do that. But I just kind of like to just give it a little bit of a tap. But with this one, quite old, some of the buttons got stuck, I guess from all the finger juice. Not ideal on that one actually. Okay, continuing with the teardown, we can remove this one screw here, quite long, and then it lifts off this plastic piece on the back there. So once we've done that, we can then open it up and work on removing the top half. So first thing you need to do is work on these rubber covers here. They can be tricky to get out, especially if you are a bit rough with them. They can rip pretty easy. But I recommend just getting a flathead bit and just carefully rolling it around the side of the rubber so you can get underneath it and pry it up. Be careful, you should be fine. But then underneath that, there's 5 more Phillips head screws. No, I lied. They're tri-wing screws. Once those are removed, you can then lift up the back cover. And then the screen pops straight on out. I'd recommend being a bit more careful. I was not. I forgot that it's actually tucked into the shell. So take it out of there first, untuck it from the shell, and then you can lift it out. Now we can remove the hinges. So the hinges are also tricky as well. You have to pop them out with a flathead bit, I recommend, while it's closed halfway, and then open the shell up, and then you can pop them out the rest of the way. And the shell literally falls apart. Then you can slide off the rubber covers, plastic covers actually. Yeah, plastic covers. And then that's it. Teardown done. So now we can see all the internals of the Game Boy laid out perfectly. Perfectly? Why am I talking myself up on that? They're quite dirty, so what we're going to do is clean all of it. Everything's getting a bath. If it's not electronic, it's getting a bath. If it is electronic, it's getting an isopropyl bath. So what I've done here is I've got some warm water, soap in it, and everything that's plastic is going in. We're going to give it a nice old scrub with a toothbrush. Happy days. I always get a bit hesitant showing too much cleaning stuff because I feel like if I show too much, it can be a bit boring. So any feedback with that is appreciated. I just decided to time lapse it here. Easier on me to edit, and I guess if you want to watch it, go for it. You can see I clean it all. I promise, I'm not lying. Now for this video, I decided to go a nice little simple bare bones video voiceover type of thing. No music. I keep on getting copyrighted on all my music that I've uploaded, even though I got permission from the artist to use it, and now it's all being demonetized. I guess that's half the problem with YouTube. But don't worry about that. We're talking Game Boy, it's not YouTube. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep on cleaning it. These buttons here are actually press buttons. Press buttons? Clicky buttons? I forget the name of it. But I'm just giving a wipe anyway. And then also definitely recommend getting in all the switches and the cartridge slot, all that stuff with the isopropyl alcohol. I'm just cleaning the plastic for this slider switch. I'm not actually cleaning inside of it. Buttons, everything. Give it all a clean. If it gets used, clean it. I actually couldn't find another toothbrush, so I'm using a paintbrush here to clean it out. I made sure the bristles were clean. Don't yell at me. Now with the screen, we're just going to clean up the bit that's hidden underneath the bezel, because that can also collect quite a lot of dust and grime. So we'll give it a nice clean, more isopropyl on the screen, wipe it down. And then we're going to clean up the ribbon cable, make sure the contacts for that are nice and clean as well. Despite the screen working perfectly fine anyway, it's just always safe to give it an extra clean while we're in there, especially because I'm touching it with my fingers. I might get some oils on there, whatever. Just want to have a nice clean contact. And with the speaker as well, that can get quite dirty because it's got holes in the shell. Even though there's a guard there, it can still get dirty, so we'll wipe that over as well. Now everything is tidy, we can finally get to reassembling it. Exactly the opposite of disassembly. Starting with the hinges, just make sure you click them in all the way. And then the screen slaps straight on in, and then the top cover goes back on. Screwing it all in. Make sure you get all the screws in the right order. Especially that long screw I mentioned earlier, you don't want to put that in the wrong spot, otherwise it'll pierce straight through the shell. Those rubber covers should have enough sticky to hold it back down. Shouldn't need to apply any more adhesive. And then all the buttons, speakers, everything like that can go in. No worries, just plonk it all back in. Membranes on there as well. Happy days. Now, by far the trickiest bit of this whole process is getting the ribbon cable on. I promise you, I made it look pretty easy here. Magic of editing. It took me, I swear to God, like half an hour to get this right. And as we're going to see later, I messed up. But it's fine, we'll get there. So then we can screw the board back down and put the back cover all back together as well. So we're going to slot the buttons back in, slot the springs in the right way. Make sure you don't forget the nut for the battery door. Definitely don't want to forget that. And then you can put it all back together, same way it is assembled. Now that all the screws are back in, we can finally open it up and test it. Turn it on, and let's get started playing a game, hey. Oh, what? What's going on here? Yeah, so what I did was, the screen's working, but there's no visual coming through. It was a ribbon cable. The ribbon cable was not seated properly. It was on a very slight angle. Enough contact to get power, but not actually enough to show anything on the screen. Look at that, working perfectly fine. Let's play a game. I picked up this game from Lifeline, which is an op shop. Anyways, let's whack that in. It was Spyro and Crash Bandicoot go-kart thingy. I'm blanking, sorry. Oh, what did I do? I messed it up again. The A button decided to move a little bit. So, once again, back in, fixing that A button up, put the membrane back on, and let's try again, hey? Hopefully for the last time. Start up first go, playing this game. Actually, not a bad game, even though I'm not very good at it, but whatever. So now that the console is all clean, we can actually enjoy it, okay? Very, very simple to do this. All you need to do, have a couple tools, bit of patience. Make sure you put it all back together the right way, like I did not. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!